Welcome back to Standard Bank Arena. The competition is hotting up with only 4 more songs to hear before we choose the final winner.
En nou is ons by ons 14de deelnemer van Kaapstad, Radio Goeie Hoop.
Attie van Wyk en L. Eto het al baie saamgewerk aan produksies en skryfprojekte. Attie was 7 jaar lang bestuurder en leier van Ballyhoo. In 1983 het hy sy eie plate begin vervaardig. L is 'n sanger, 'n vervaardiger en liedjieskrywer.
You know, you don't have to sit 10 days to with that song because it's either good when it comes out or it's not good. One of the two.
Hulle liedjie se naam is Children of the World. Die produksie is deur Gallo GRC en dit word uitgevoer deur Ricardo and Friends. Die liedjie vir Radio Goeie Hoop.
Mess
Ricardo and friends are proteges of Al Atto, the co-composer of the song, We Are the Children of the World. Next, station number 15, and another familiar face, Johnny Mukhadi.
Johnny Mukhadi is an in-house producer and singer for RPM Records. He composes on the bass guitar and has been writing for 6 years. Johnny wrote and performed last year's entry for Radio Setswana, and what about this year's?
The feeling behind this song, Mama, is because I've seen a lot of violences, and the meaning is still the same as last year's song.
The song is called Twaranang, produced by EMI, and the artist to perform it tonight is Johnny Mukhadi himself. The song for Radio Setswana.
Yo
Johnny Mogadi vir Radio Setswana. Jy sal onthou dat Johnny verlede jaar die tweede plek ingeneem het, ook vir Radio Setswana. Nou skuif ons Pretoria toe, en die keer die liedjie vir Radio Jacaranda.
Maritjie Stoop is 22 jaar oud, getroud en 'n Engelse onderwyseres. Sy het alreeds sukses behaal as komponis. Sy het die temaliedjie vir die televisiereeks Die Rooi Komplot geskryf.
Ek glo dit is nodig om te droom, om iewers te kom, om jou hart op iets te sit en daarvoor te gaan. Net so kan, as mense nie droom oor vrede en oor harmonie tussen mense nie, dan sal dit ook nooit waar kom nie.
Haar liedjie se naam is I Dare to Dream. Die produksie is gedoen deur RPM en om het te sing vanaand Andrei Schwartz. Die liedjie vir Radio Jacaranda.
Last night I had a vision of thunderbolts and rain, of rivers overflowing till it washed away the pain. Then all the dark clouds vanished before a bright new sun. And suddenly I realized that the time to share had come. I dare to dream, come share my dream. Come close your eyes and you and I will visualize this lovely land. Grow proud and strong, and all the people standing hand in hand to sing along a brand new song. I'll never look behind me, I never will give in. I'll always see the bright side of this land we're living in. I'll never lose my faith in love, I know we'll make it through. I know too, there are lots of you who feel the way I do. I dare to dream, come share my dream. Come close your eyes, and you and I will visualize this lovely land. Grow proud and strong, and all the people standing hand in hand to sing along a brand new song. I dare to dream, come share my dream. Come close your eyes, and you and I will visualize this lovely land. Grow proud and strong, and all the people standing hand in hand to sing along a brand new
I Dare to Dream was Mariki's first attempt at writing an English song. Well done, Mariki. And so to our last station drawn from the hat, a man we've already met tonight, this time from Radio Leboa.
Ati and Isa van Wyk, successful songwriting duo. Ati writes the music and his wife the lyrics. To Ati's credit for arranging and production, 11 platinum discs, 18 gold discs and 6 SARI awards. Isa, previously a science teacher, runs their entertainment promotions agency and has had more than 50 of her songs recorded. They've been married for 11 years and have 2 young children.
The song is called Tobela, produced by Defon. And here to sing the song for the couple who wrote all her hits is Yvonne Chaka Chaka, the song for Radio Leboa.
Hello, and that means, Tabella, can you put your hands together? I love you. I look back on the years, oh, what went wrong? You were here, and then you were gone. I thought I could make it on my own, but I felt lost and so alone. My darling, why did you go? Our love was high, now I'm feeling low. But if you come back to me, I'll open the door with a love stronger than before. I say, Tabella, Tabella, I still love you. Tabella, Muratiwa, please love me too. Tabella, Tabella, never go away. Tabella, Muratiwa, please won't you stay? I'll be calling, calling, calling. Let's have be love. And I'll be crying, crying, crying. Let's have be love. Everybody, your hands. Life was not what it used to be. Now I know what you meant to me. You've always loved me with your heart and soul. You stand together with your old. Darling, I need to find myself. Couldn't find someone else. I beg you, please, come close that door. I love you more than before. Tabella, Tabella, I still love you. Tabella, Muratiwa, please love me too. Tabella, Tabella, never go away. Tabella, Muratiwa, please won't you stay? I'll be calling, calling, calling. Let there be love, and I'll be crying, crying, crying. Let there be love. Tabella, Tabella, Tabella.
That was Yvonne Chaka Chaka for Radio Leboa with Thobela Thobela.
Onthou nou, daar's 187 beoordelaars reg deur die land wat klaar hulle stemme uitgebring het en die stemme gaan bepaal wie vanaand die eerste prys van R15,000 gaan wen en ook die tweede prys, die Samro-prys van R5,000.
Well, I don't know if you've made up your mind, but our judges in the regions certainly have. While they're putting their scores together, we thought you'd like to know what happens behind the scenes and the National Song Festival.
This was the scene of the first ever National Song Festival held last year. It was decided then to make it an annual event to further encourage local songwriting. 2 new stations were also included in the competition.
If you consider yourself a budding songwriter or are interested in songwriting, why not participate in this competition? You are most welcome to do so. All you have to do to enter is collect an entry form.
And so the entries poured in to all 17 regional stations. Over 2,000 entries were received. Then began the enormous task of choosing the song to represent home stations. A panel of 20 judges representing a cross-section of the listeners to each station was appointed to select the best song. 11 judges from each panel are with us tonight, which means that the overall winner will be chosen by no fewer than 187 judges countrywide. 17 of the South African music industry's recording companies were approached, and at a lucky draw, each company was assigned a radio station to turn the rough demo tapes into professional recordings with some of South Africa's top artists. The cutting and pressing of the records was the next stage of the process, and this year, for the first time, a compilation album of the songs heard on the show is available.
The Second National Song Festival of 1987, the Radio Metro song, has been chosen that will go through to the finals. The song is composed by Tom Vermain, it's done by Super Africa. It's simply called You Can Make It Work.
And then the television production began. All the record companies were consulted and decisions taken about the presentation of their acts.
Cutaway jacket.
Size is he?
Are you short?
What idea did you have for the costume? Because so we've got to either keep the fabric the same or a similar design.
I've got 5 separate frequencies, yeah.
Then I think after that rehearsal, then they can go away and can rehearse themselves to death.
Scenic services moved into full swing. Color, costumes, fittings, graphics, design, and construction.
John, that's that line there, yeah.
Johan Lars was commissioned to write the production music for the show. Meanwhile, the production team went out to meet the composers, wherever they lived, from the north down to the Cape, and were entertained in more ways than one. Video editing began, while Neil Mackay rehearsed the acts. Into the Standard Bank Arena moved sets, scaffolding, lights, and sound. And then the outside broadcast vans with the technical crew. Over 100 artists rehearsed for tonight's show, and the composers who are visiting Johannesburg are all staying at the Johannesburg Sun. We're broadcasting not only on television, but on radio too. The regional judges are watching the show and will be relaying their votes back to Johannesburg shortly. The winning composer will win a prize worth 7,000 rands from Satur. And of course, the big prize of 15,000 rands.
En u het gedink dit gebeur sommer so alles vanself. Die beoordelaars in die streke het nou reeds hulle stemme uitgebring en hulle staan nou gereed om met ons te skakel direk hier in Johannesburg. Nou moet u natuurlik nog besluit watter liedjie die beste is. Dit wil sê watter liedjie skrywer vanaand die wenner is. En om u te help, net so vinnige terugflits net om u geheue te verfris. Jess Rugeris vir Radio Algoa. Master Mahlalela vir Radio Swazi. Tom McKeeze vir Radio Sesotho. Chris Frank vir Radio Woelveld. Dickie en Colleen Loader vir Radio Zulu. Tom Vuma vir Radio Metro. Nathaniel en Florence Mushwana vir Radio Tsonga. Four Wheel Drive vir Radio Oranje. Roxley Mashewe vir Radio Venda. Danny Bridgens vir Radio Port Natal. Sisa Jokashe en Nomtunzi Siongwana vir Radio Koza. Dennis Morris for Radio Lotus. Titus Zondo for Radio Ndebele. Atti van Wyk en El Eto for Radio Goeie Hoop. Johnny Mugadi for Radio Setswana. Mariki Stoop for Radio Jacaranda. En Atti en Isa van Wyk for Radio Leboa. En nou kom ons by die belangrikste stuk van die aand. Nou gaan ons oor tot stemming. Ons skakel eerstens oor na die stasie in Port Elizabeth, Radio Algoa. Goeienaand, Radio Algoa. Julle stem asseblief.
Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Algoa in Port Elizabeth. Here is the scoring by the Radio Algoa panel of judges. Radio Venda, 1 point.
Radio Venda, 1 punt.
Radio Metro, 2 points.
Radio Metro, 2 punte.
Radio Swazi, 3 points.
Radio Swazi, 3 punte.
Radio Setswana, 4 points.
Radio Setswana, 4 punte.
Radio Leboa, 5 points.
Radio Leboa, 5 punte.
Radio Oranje, 6 points.
Radio Oranje, 6 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 7 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 7 punte.
Radio Zulu, 8 points.
Radio Zulu, 8 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 10 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 10 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 12 points.
Radio Port Natal, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Algoa. Good night, Johannesburg.
Dankie Algoa en goeienaand.
Our next station is Radio Swazi. Siyavusela Radio Swazi, may we have your votes, please?
Siyanibingelela eJozi. Lona ngumsakazi wesiswati ePitoli. Here is the scoring by the Radio Swazi panel of judges. Radio Algoa, 1 point.
Radio Algoa, 1 punt.
Radio Sesotho, 2 points.
Radio Sesotho, 2 punte.
Radio Leboa, 3 points.
Radio Leboa, 3 punte.
Radio Highveld, 4 points.
Radio Hoëveld, 4 punte.
Radio Ndebele, 5 points.
Radio Ndebele, 5 punte.
Radio Metro, 6 points.
Radio Metro, 6 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 7 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 7 punte.
Radio Venda, 8 points.
Radio Venda, 8 punte.
Radio Tsonga, 10 points.
Radio Tsonga, 10 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 12 points.
Radio Port Natal, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Swazi. Buthongo lobumnandi eJozi.
Siyabonga nina bekunene. Thank you very much. Our next station is Radio Sesotho. Dumelang Basotho, may we have your votes, please?
Dumelang Basotho. Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Sesotho in Auckland Park. Here is the scoring by the Radio Sesotho panel of judges. Radio Lotus, 1 point.
Radio Lotus, 1 punt.
Radio Venda, 2 points.
Radio Venda, 2 punte.
Radio Oranje, 3 points.
Radio Oranje, 3 punte.
Radio Swazi, 4 points.
Radio Swazi, 4 punte.
Radio Algoa, 5 points.
Radio Algoa, 5 punte.
Radio Ndebele, 6 points.
Radio Ndebele, 6 punte.
Radio Leboa, 7 points.
Radio Leboa, 7 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 8 points.
Goeie Hoop, 8 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 10 points.
Jacaranda, 10 punte.
Radio Setswana, 12 points.
Radio Setswana, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Sesotho. Good night, Johannesburg.
Radio Lesotho and good night.
En met Radio Port Natal wat 'n kort kop voorloop op 24, tweede plek op die oomblik Radio Goeie Hoop met 22 en Jacaranda derde met 20. Dis nie 'n groot verskil nie. Kom ons skakel oor na Radio Hoëveld en kry hulle stem. Goeienaand Hoëveld, julle stem asseblief.
Hello Johannesburg, this is Radio Highveld in Auckland Park. Here is the scoring by Radio Highveld panel of judges. Radio Lotus, 1 point.
Radio Lotus 1 punt.
Radio Venda, 2 points.
Radio Venda 2 punte.
Radio Swazi, 3 points.
Radio Swazi 3 punte.
Radio Leboa, 4 points.
Radio Leboa 4 punte.
Radio Oranje, 5 points.
Radio Oranje 5 punte.
Radio Setswana, 6 points.
Radio Setswana 6 punte.
Radio Algoa, 7 points.
Radio Algoa 7 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 8 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop 8 punte.
Radio Zulu, 10 points.
Radio Zulu 10 punte.
And Radio Jacaranda, 12 points.
Radio Jacaranda 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Highveld. Good night, Johannesburg.
Dankie Hoëveld. Dit beteken ons de nuwe voorloper, die Radio Jacaranda, nou 32 punte, voor met 2 punte en die tweede plek Goeie Hoop met 30.
Now our next station is Radio Zulu. Sanbanani Radio Zulu, may we have your votes, please?
Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Zulu in Devon. Here is the scoring by the Radio Zulu panel of judges. Radio Sesotho, 1 point.
Radio Sesotho 1 punt.
Radio Xhosa, 2 points.
Radio Xhosa 2 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 3 points.
Radio Port Natal 3 punte.
Radio Highveld, 4 points.
Radio Hoëveld 4 punte.
Radio Oranje, 5 points.
Radio Oranje 5 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 6 points.
Radio Jacaranda 6 punte.
Radio Leboa, 7 points.
Radio Leboa 7 punte.
Radio Algoa, 8 points.
Radio Algoa 8 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 10 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop 10 punte.
Radio Venda, 12 points.
Radio Venda 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Zulu. Good night, Johannesburg.
Siyabonga Radio Zulu and good night.
Right, once again we've got a new leader. Good Hope is in the lead now with 40 points. And if I quickly look on the screen, who's second? I can't quite make it out. 38 to Jacaranda, still only 2 points behind. Let's cross to Johannesburg to Radio Metro. Good evening, Metro. Your votes, please.
Good evening. Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Metro in Auckland Park. Here's the scoring by the Radio Metro panel of judges. Radio Swazi, 1 point.
Radio Swazi 1 punt.
Radio Port Natal, 2 points.
Radio Port Natal 2 punte.
Radio Zulu, 3 points.
Radio Zulu 3 punte.
Radio Sesotho, 4 points.
Radio Sesotho 4 punte.
Radio Ndebele, 5 points.
Radio Ndebele 5 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 6 points.
Radio Jacaranda 6 punte.
Radio Leboa, 7 points.
Radio Leboa 7 punte.
Radio Algoa, 8 points.
Radio Algoa 8 punte.
Radio Setswana, 10 points.
Radio Setswana 10 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 12 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop 12 punte.
And that concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Metro. Good night, Johannesburg.
Good night, Metro. Thank you very much. That still puts Good Hope in the lead. 52 points at this stage. 44 to Jacaranda, 33 to Leboa. It's going to be a close one tonight.
Our next station is Radio Tsonga. Ishowetile Radio Tsonga, may we have your votes, please?
Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Tsonga in Pittsburgh. Here is the scoring by Radio Tsonga panel of judges. Radio Algoa, 1 point.
Radio Algoa 1 punt.
Radio Ndebele, 2 points.
Radio Ndebele 2 punte.
Radio Oranje, 3 points.
Radio Oranje 3 punte.
Radio Zulu, 4 points.
Radio Zulu 4 punte.
Radio Sesotho, 5 points.
Radio Sesotho 5 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 6 points.
Radio Jacaranda 6 punte.
Radio Livua, 7 points.
Radio Leboa 7 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 8 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop 8 punte.
Radio Venda, 10 points.
Radio Venda 10 punte.
Radio Setswana, 12 points.
Radio Setswana 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Tonga. Abdibe Zangantenya.
Masala Kwazin Kweni. Thank you very much.
Nou skuif ons af na Bloemfontein toe vir Radio Oranje met Goeie Hoop wat nog steeds voorloop op 60 punte die keer. Radio Oranje, goeienaand, julle stem asseblief.
Hallo Johannesburg, dit is Radio Oranje in Bloemfontein. Hier volg ons puntetelling deur die paneelbeoordelaars van Radio Oranje. Radio Leboa 1 punt.
Radio Leboa 1 point.
Radio Port Natal 2 punte.
Radio Port Natal 2 points.
Radio Sesotho 3 punte.
Radio Sesotho 3 points.
Radio Swazi 4 punte.
Radio Swazi 4 points.
Radio Hoëveld 5 punte.
Radio Highveld 5 points.
Radio Setswana 6 punte.
Radio Setswana 6 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop 7 punte.
Radio Good Hope 7 points.
Radio Algoa 8 punte.
Radio Algoa 8 points.
Radio Zulu 10 punte.
Radio Zulu 10 points.
Radio Jacaranda 12 punte.
Radio Jacaranda 12 points.
Dit is die puntetoekenning van die beoordelaarspaneel van Radio Oranje. Goeienaand Johannesburg.
Dankie Oranje, en dit lyk my dis vanaand tussen Goeie Hoop en Jacaranda. In hierdie stadium Goeie Hoop wat voorloop met 67 punte en Jacaranda tweede met 62. Onthou nou, solank daar 12 punte verskil is, dan kan dit nog 'n groot verskil maak met een stasie om te stem. So hou maar duim vas vir u gunsteling stasie.
All right, our next station is Radio Venda. Rolocha, Radio Venda, may we have your votes, please?
Radio Vua. Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Venda in Petersburg. Here is the scoring by Radio Venda panel of judges. Radio Setswana, 1 point.
Radio Setswana, 1 punt.
Radio Swazi, 2 points.
Radio Swazi, 2 punte.
Radio Ndebele, 3 points.
Radio Ndebele, 3 punte.
Radio Lotus, 4 points.
Radio Lotus, 4 punte.
Radio Leboa, 5 points.
Radio Leboa, 5 punte.
Radio Sesotho, 6 points.
Radio Sesotho, 6 punte.
Radio Algoa, 7 points.
Radio Algoa, 7 punte.
Radio Metro, 8 points.
Radio Metro, 8 punte.
Radio Highveld, 10 points.
Radio Hoëveld, 10 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 12 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges, panel of Radio Venda. Khabe madekwana abudi wa Johannesburg.
Masala Zwabudi, and thank you very much.
En nou skuif ons af na Durban toe vir Radio Port Natal. Goeienaand Port Natal, julle stem asseblief.
Hello Johannesburg, this is Radio Port Natal in Durban. Here is the scoring by the Radio Port Natal panel of judges. Radio Tsonga, 1 point.
Radio Tsonga, 1 punt.
Radio Highveld, 2 points.
Radio Hoëveld, 2 punte.
Radio Swazi, 3 points.
Radio Swazi, 3 punte.
Radio Setswana, 4 points.
Radio Setswana, 4 punte.
Radio Leboa, 5 points.
Radio Leboa, 5 punte.
Radio Algoa, 6 points.
Radio Algoa, 6 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 7 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 7 punte.
Radio Metro, 8 points.
Radio Metro, 8 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 10 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 10 punte.
Radio Zulu, 12 points.
En Radio Zulu, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Port Natal. Good night, Johannesburg.
Dankie Port Natal en goeie nag. Hier is nou 'n groot voorsprong vir Radio Goeie Hoop, 89 punte in hierdie stadium. Naaste aan hulle Jacaranda met 69. Hulle loop voor met 20 punte, lyk dit my, op die oomblik.
Our next station is Radio Xhosa. Molweni Radio Xhosa, may we have your votes, please?
Yeah, Morena Gauteng. This is Radio Xhosa in King Williamstown. The scoring by a Radio Xhosa panel of judges as follows. Radio Jacaranda, 1 point.
Radio Jacaranda, 1 punt.
Radio Lotus, 2 points.
Radio Lotus, 2 punte.
Radio Venda, 3 points.
Radio Venda 3 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 4 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop 4 punte.
Radio Leboa, 5 points.
Radio Leboa 5 punte.
Radio Situ, 6 points.
Radio Sesotho 6 punte.
Radio Swazi, 7 points.
Radio Swazi 7 punte.
Radio Metro, 8 points.
Radio Metro 8 punte.
Radio Algoa, 10 points.
Radio Algoa 10 punte.
Radio Zulu, 12 points.
Radio Zulu 12 punte.
That concludes our panel of judges judging for now. Good night, Johannesburg.
Enkosi Radio Xhosa. Good night.
Right, now it's getting interesting. We've still got Good Hope leading on 93, second place at this stage at 70 points. It looks like Jacaranda. A couple of others moving into Algoa, 61, moving up rather rapidly there. Let's cross to Durban once again. Radio Lotus, good evening. Your scores, please.
Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Lotus in Durban. Here is the scoring by the Radio Lotus panel of judges. Radio Highveld, 1 point.
Radio Hoëveld, 1 punt.
Radio Metro, 2 points.
Radio Metro, 2 punte.
Radio Algoa, 3 points.
Radio Algoa, 3 punte.
Radio Swazi, 4 points.
Radio Swazi, 4 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 5 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 5 punte.
Radio Oranje, 6 points.
Radio Oranje, 6 punte.
Radio Leboa, 7 points.
Radio Leboa, 7 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 8 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 8 punte.
Radio Zulu, 10 points.
Radio Zulu, 10 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 12 points.
Radio Port Natal, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Lotus. Good night, Johannesburg.
Thank you, Lotus, and good night. And at this stage, we've got Good Hope. Had quite a few, 101 points to Good Hope at this stage.
Our next station is Radio Ndebele. Nyalochisa Radio Ndebele, may we have your votes, please?
Lochani ngeJohannesburg. Lo ngumrhatsho wesiNdebele ngePitori onlethela ubuhlobo nethabo. Here is the scoring by the Radio Ndebele panel of judges. Radio Port Natal, 1 point.
Radio Port Natal, 1 punt.
Radio Jacaranda, 2 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 2 punte.
Radio Leboa, 3 points.
Radio Leboa, 3 punte.
Radio Metro, 4 points.
Radio Metro, 4 punte.
Radio Zulu, 5 points.
Radio Zulu, 5 punte.
Radio Sesotho, 6 points.
Radio Sesotho, 6 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 7 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 7 punte.
Radio Venda, 8 points.
Radio Venda, 8 punte.
Radio Setswana, 10 points.
Radio Setswana, 10 punte.
Radio Swazi, 12 points.
Radio Swazi, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Ndebele. Salani kuhleke, akube makoro ngamakoro.
Salani kuhle Radio Ndebele, and thank you very much.
Nou kyk ons Kaap toe, die stasie wat op die oomblik voorloop met 108 punte. Hulle mag natuurlik nie vir hulle self stem nie, onthou dit. Radio Goeie Hoop, goeienaand. Julle stem asseblief.
Hallo Johannesburg. Dit is Radio Goeie Hoop in Kaapstad. Hier volg die puntetelling deur die paneel beoordelaars van Radio Goeie Hoop. Radio Hoëveld, 1 punt.
Radio Highveld, 1 point.
Radio Lotus, 2 punte.
Radio Lotus, 2 points.
Radio Sesotho, 3 punte.
Radio Sesotho, 3 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 4 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 4 points.
Radio Oranje, 5 punte.
Radio Oranje, 5 points.
Radio Venda, 6 punte.
Radio Venda, 6 points.
Radio Metro, 7 punte.
Radio Metro, 7 points.
Radio Algoa, 8 punte.
Radio Algoa, 8 points.
Radio Zulu, 10 punte.
Radio Zulu, 10 points.
Radio Port Natal, 12 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 12 points.
Dit is die puntetoekenning van die beoordelingspaneel van Radio Goeie Hoop. Goeienaand, Johannesburg.
Goeienaand, Goeie Hoop, baie dankie. Daar is Goeie Hoop nog steeds voor met 108 punte in 'n nuwe stasie in die tweede plek, Radio Zulu nou 84. Hulle het nou Jacaranda verbygesteek op 81.
Now for our last station, Radio Leboa. Thobela, Radio Leboa, may we have your votes, please?
Johannesburg.
I think you've made a mistake there. Can we just, Mr. Scrutineer, could we...
Oh,
Yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt. It's Radio Setswana.
Yes, please.
My apologies. Radio Setswana, may we have your votes, please?
Dumelang ko haute magaetso. Hello, Johannesburg. This is Radio Setswana in Pretoria. Here is the scoring by the Radio Setswana panel of judges. Radio Tsonga, 1 point.
Radio Tsonga, 1 punt.
Radio Oranje, 2 points.
Radio Oranje, 2 punte.
Radio Ndebele, 3 points.
Radio Ndebele, 3 punte.
Radio Jacaranda, 4 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 4 punte.
Radio Metro, 5 points.
Radio Metro, 5 punte.
Radio Highveld, 6 points.
Radio Hoëveld, 6 punte.
Radio Algua, 7 points.
Radio Algua, 7 punte.
Radio Zulu, 8 points.
Radio Zulu, 8 punte.
Radio Venda, 10 points.
Radio Venda, 10 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 12 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Setswana. Good night, Johannesburg.
Radio Setswana and good night.
As hy, nou is Goeie Hoop nog steeds die voorloper op 120 punte. En nou gaan ons Pretoria toe vir Radio Jacaranda. Goeienaand Jacaranda, julle stem asseblief.
Goeienaand Johannesburg. Dit is Radio Jacaranda in Pretoria. Hier volg die puntetelling deur die paneel beoordelaars van Radio Jacaranda. Radio Khoza, 1 punt.
Radio Khoza, 1 point.
Radio Venda, 2 punte.
Radio Venda, 2 points.
Radio Setswana, 3 punte.
Radio Setswana, 3 points.
Radio Algoa, 4 punte.
Radio Algoa, 4 points.
Radio Swazi, 5 punte.
Radio Swazi, 5 points.
Radio Port Natal, 6 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 6 points.
Radio Lotus, 7 punte.
Radio Lotus, 7 points.
Radio Oranje, 8 punte.
Radio Oranje, 8 points.
Radio Zulu, 10 punte.
Radio Zulu, 10 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 12 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 12 points.
Dit is die puntetoekenning van die beoordelaarspaneel van Radio Jacaranda. Goeienaand Johannesburg.
Dankie Jacaranda en goeienaand. Nou dit lyk my in hierdie stadium met Goeie Hoop 'n redelike goeie voorsprong, 132 naaste aan hulle is Radio Zulu tans met 102. So dit lyk nie vir my of iemand hulle in hierdie stadium kan inhaal nie. Our last station please.
Yes, now our last station, Radio Leboa. Thobela, Radio Leboa. May we have your votes, please?
Thobela, Johannesburg. This is Radio Leboa in Petersburg. Here is the scoring by the Radio Leboa panel of judges. Radio Highveld, 1 point.
Radio Hoëveld, 1 punt.
Radio Jacaranda, 2 points.
Radio Jacaranda, 2 punte.
Radio Swazi, 3 points.
Radio Swazi, 3 punte.
Radio Ndebele, 4 points.
Radio Ndebele, 4 punte.
Radio Good Hope, 5 points.
Radio Goeie Hoop, 5 punte.
Radio Setswana, 6 points.
Radio Setswana, 6 punte.
Radio Zulu, 7 points.
Radio Zulu, 7 punte.
Radio Tsonga, 8 points.
Radio Tsonga, 8 punte.
Radio Port Natal, 10 points.
Radio Port Natal, 10 punte.
Radio Venda, 12 points.
Radio Venda, 12 punte.
That concludes the voting by the judges panel of Radio Leboa. Shalang Habose, Johannesburg.
Shalang Habose, thank you very much and good night, Leboa.
En daar sy, die wenstasie Radio Goeie Hoop, 137 punte, die komponiste Attie van Wyk en El Etto. En om die prys aan die twee wenkomponiste te oorhandig, die direkteur-generaal van die SAIK, meneer Rian Eksteen. And to hand over the prize from Satua, Mr. Campbell Smith. And now we'd like to ask the performers of the winning song for Radio Good Hope, Ricardo and friends, to join us on stage.
And the runners-up are Radio Zulu with Richard and Carleen Loader as the composers.
En om die tweede prys van R5.000 te oorhandig namens Samro, meneer Gideon de Koos.
And to present the Best Performance Award is Neil Cloud.
No. Abigail Kubeka, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, the Best Performance Award in the Second National Song Festival 1987 goes to, just hold on to this, my darling. Song number 10 for Radio Port Natal. Friends first. Thank you.
Friends First, the group who performed for Radio Port Natal, the winners of the Performance Award. Right, and with that, it's time for us to say good night. Vanuit die Standard Bank Arena in Johannesburg. Goeienacht.
And for me, good night.
And we play out with a song for South Africa, 1987, The Children of the World.
Message All the people on the floor, please.